What is going on, guys? Welcome back to HTAG for the third episode of our 2021 modded Motorsport Manager 3 career mode on the Nintendo Switch, managing Aston Martin racing. You know what it is. We're back here, we're jumping straight into the third race. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit of a short episode. The last two have been very long and I appreciate everyone who's watching it. I think we're on like 4,300 views or something silly on the first episode, which is absolutely crazy, and I want to thank you guys so much for that. I still haven't really perfected this recording setup for this. I'm like HDMIing my Switch to my MacBook and recording it off that, and I did think about putting something cool on the TV as a backdrop for you, but then I thought I'm way too lazy for that. So but we are here, we are at the Nordvich, the Netherlands Grand Prix, the knockoff Zandvoort, and I know, are they going to Zandvoort this year? I think they are. Yeah, I mean it's way later on in the calendar, but let's pretend that this is the Emilia Romagna race, a mix of Emilia Romagna and Spain, because I need to catch up. Somehow real life F1 has overtaken me on this career mode, despite me starting it before the season actually even begun. That's just how way off it I've been. But one thing I wanted to do before we dive straight into this race is just show you what I'm doing preferences wise, so in the settings, because I feel like I'm gonna be accused of making it too easy, considering we won the first two rounds of the championship with a car that in real life is not quite at that level. I am not playing it on anywhere near the easiest difficulty. This is the difficulty settings we had for the last round of the championship. So you can see here we've got it right in between medium and difficult and hard mode on. What I will do for this race, I'm going to bump it up to there. So every race that we do above Aston Martin in real life, I'll bump it up a little bit. I also don't really plan on upgrading the car at all this season. I explained it in the first episode, I think, that basically what's happening this season is that after round 6, most of the development's being locked, simply because that's kind of happening in real life. Everyone's going to be focusing on the regulation change. So yeah, everything will pretty much be set in stone from that point on in this season of this career mode anyway, and then 2022 will be totally different. Everything will be equal. I'll probably whack it onto like the hardest difficulty then for the new regulation, just see where we end up with it. But that's for down the line, but I will bump it up every time. But I just wanted to show you what it's on, because I don't want people to think that I'm just running around like here, just like, oh, I'm, you know, Sebastian Vettel winning races. It's like, that's not the way it is. Like, we're, you know, we are actually trying. But because I bumped it up, I'm going to stick with my Northern Harbour 11th or above. I feel like it's a very achievable target, and even though, I mean, you can see up here we're losing, like, we're hemorrhaging money per race, even with this down here, like 1.4 million we'll be losing, but that's okay, because Daddy Stroll has got big stacks, stonks of money. 51 million pounds in the bank. We're really not at any risk of struggling. So one thing I am going to be doing, I'm going to do in this episode, and I'm going to do from now on, is I'm going to simulate qualifying. Anything other than Sebastian Vettel on pole would be a shock. I mean, given the way that the save's gone, yes, but in context of real life, I think you're a bit off, XBC Sport. Aston Martin are looking excited about their prospects. The track layout really suits their car, yes. So I'm going to simulate qualifying. That's the point I was trying to get to. And I'm going to do that going forward. I don't think it really adds much to the entertainment value of the save. Obviously, you guys let me know if you think that it does add to it and you want to see qualifying. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. I will continue to do it. But personally, I don't think it really adds much, and I think it just slows down these episodes. So also, it's very, very easy to get pole position if you actually do qualifying on this, because you can control the cards, whereas if you sim it, it's totally down to your staff driver and car. Like, you have no influence, and I just feel like potentially we'll get better grid results. I mean, I might eat my words right now as we simulate qualified, see where we come. 8th. So that suddenly, immediately is more realistic. So I think this is what I'm going to do going forward. Obviously, we've still got the 2 reverse grid races coming up, which I think is Canada and Italy in the save. We're going to do reverse grids at those 2 races again. When we get to that, let me know what you think. But again, I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm digressing. But 8th on the grid, more realistic. I'm going to do this going forward if that's okay with all of you guys. Obviously, I want to make this save as entertaining as possible for you, and if you don't like what I'm doing, just let me know and I'll change it, and as long as I'm still enjoying it, that's fine. But here we go into the race. So, well, Sebastian Vettel in 8th, and we've got absolutely no sign whatsoever of Lance Stroll. He has qualified 20th place in the Aston Martin, and this is a bizarre grid. Let's run through it when we go down to when it runs through the grid. I'm not gonna process that right now. I'm gonna focus on setting up for this race. I mean, 11th or above suddenly starting to look a little bit. Lots of talk of 2-stop strategies. That could be interesting. So we've got Sainz on pole and Verstappen second, very reminiscent of the Monaco Grand Prix that just went, actually. And then Yuki Tsunoda in 3rd, Latifi in 4th, and a Williams. I don't know what happened in this qualifying session. Ricciardo 5th in a McLaren, 6th Esteban Ocon, 7th Sergio Perez, and 8th Sebastian Vettel. So far, am I right in saying no Mercedes? No Mercedes in the top 10 in qualifying here. I have no idea what's going on. Charles Leclerc 9th, Fernando Alonso 10th, Mick Schumacher in 11th in a Haas has out-qualified Lewis Hamilton. Nikita Mazepin 13th, Raikkonen 14th. I get the impression there's just been some absolute calamities here in qualifying. Mercedes have absolutely crapped the bed. Bottas in 16th, 17th Giovinazzi, Gasly a long way off his teammate down in 18th, 19th George Russell getting out-qualified, so Mr. Saturday having a less than fun time here, and then Lance Stroll, championship position 3rd in the Aston Martin, rounds out the grid. This is going to spice up the championship. We literally can't. We have no bonuses, so we're just going to build those relationships to 100% and unlock these bonuses, which I don't know what they are, but we will get there. And you can see here actually as well. So the car setup. Lance Stroll is only at 50%, and Sebastian Vettel is only at 75, 50%, minus half a second, and Sebastian Vettel is only at minus 0.75 of a second. Why was that so hard for me to work out? Which obviously if I'd done qualifying, it would more than likely have been 1 second per lap quicker, both of them. So you can see when we leave it up to our mechanics, it certainly gets a bit more interesting. So Lance Stroll starting from the back. I think we might go, it doesn't look like it's going to rain, so I think we're going to go for a hard tyre strategy. Go for the hardest compound to the softest compound. Try that one out for size. And I think with Vettel, we'll just try and do the middle. We'll just try and go down the middle. 8th place, do we really need to start on the hypersofts? No, I think we'll go with the medium compound and try and do 2 medium compound stints. As always, if you guys are unfamiliar with the game, you probably are if you're watching this, let's be honest, but if you're unfamiliar with the game, you don't have to use 2 tyre compounds. As we start the race here, 5 lights go out, and Vettel on those medium tyres has had a mammoth start here, up to 4th, up to 3rd. Sebastian Vettel, that's I meant to say Max Verstappen up into the lead, and Vettel though has had an awful middle sector here and fallen all the way back down, and now he's being challenged by Mick Schumacher in that Haas. For some reason that Haas car is predominantly black on the track. I have absolutely no idea why that's happened. You could take that up with the Motorsport Manager 3 devs, because you've seen the car in the menus, and it is predominantly white. So Sebastian Vettel has fallen here down to 11th. Let's take a rain check. I'm gonna have a little pause. Lance Stroll still running around in last, not very impressive, struggling, having a battle with Nikita Mazepin, which is well, it's the battle of the pay drivers, really, isn't it, down there? And then Russell has moved up quite well off the start. Bottas still down in 14th, but Hamilton is all the way up in 7th here. So Hamilton has had a very, very good start, and he is also running around on the medium compound. So he's not even on the softest tyres, and he's ahead of both the Alpines, who are running the softest tyres. Latifi's still up in 6th somehow, but so far the Red Bulls are definitely doing the best. Max Verstappen first, Perez in 3rd. Let's see what happens here. I think we're going quite a while until we stop here, but there is a very interesting spread of strategy in this race, actually. Something we don't often see, I don't think, as much in F1 as I would like to at the moment, really. There always seems to be kind of a set strategy that everyone kind of follows, as Sebastian Vettel still locked in this battle with Mick Schumacher here. And yeah, we're not really managing to put the ground between us here. I think you know, up in the difficulty and starting lower down the grid has definitely had quite a significant impact here. I do think that in the last race we were actually quite successful just on strategy. I think I'd up the difficulty from the first race. We were definitely on a too low difficulty. The second round in Portugal, not so much, as people start to pit. So who have we got here? We've got Latifi, Tsunoda, Perez and Alonso, all of the blue teams into the pits, but nobody stacking. They are all going to filter out around at the back of the pack, and they have all gone onto the hardest compound of tyres. So they are running to the end. So that prediction of a 2-stop strategy is certainly well, presumably out the window. This will be very interesting for us to see how long these tyres last and what the wear is like here, as yet more people come into the pits. We've got Verstappen in from the lead, Ricciardo, Sainz, Ocon. We are going to bump both of our drivers up into rich mix now. I feel like this is push time for us. Vettel has found himself all the way up to 3rd, but he is about 4 seconds off the back of Lewis Hamilton, who now leads this race. Would you have predicted that? Probably would have predicted that despite his starting position. It's not like it's not, you know, a rare situation for Lewis Hamilton to work his way through with the quality of that Mercedes car. Although Bottas down in 5th, he's just made his way up to 4th, and now he is starting to close in on Vettel here, despite Vettel running in rich mix, which is quite a worry actually. It shows this difficulty jump has certainly shifted the ability that we have in this car. We are going to box Vettel this lap. His tyres are getting particularly worn, but this is a good sign. We've gone 8 laps, and that means that he should be able to take the next compound to the end of this race. Stroll's tyres looking a little bit worse for wear, and he is actually in a battle now, stuck in this mix with a load of people who've already pitted. He's fallen quite a way off the back of Nikita Mazepin, which is well, I don't even know what to make of that, to be quite honest. As Vettel comes in to make his stop, Lance Stroll will go through. So Sebastian Vettel is going to filter out in 18th place. Lance Stroll, we're just going to tell him to conserve here. Realistically, what's that, 7 laps of the race left, and his tyres really start to feel the heat. But that is positive for us because it means potentially the people that pitted on like lap 5 onto these tyres might struggle to make it to the end of this race. And Stroll's tyres aren't even the worst, as Norris and Hamilton come into the pits, and they will cycle out hopefully behind Sebastian Vettel. Whereas Vettel behind Perez and Alonso. Vettel has overtaken Ocon and Latifi through the pits though, and he's on better tyres to the end. So that is promising. Lewis Hamilton has filtered out in last place here, which so maybe that strategy hasn't worked out too well for them actually. He did lead the race for a little bit, but let's have a quick look. Yeah, we need to go another lap with Lance Stroll. I am sorry, Lance, you're going to have to stretch those tyres out as far as you physically can. You have a job to do here. He's going to overtake Charles Leclerc here. He's looking at Charles Leclerc, who is on way fresher tyres, and he is going to go around the outside of Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. What is going on here, lads? How are you finding so much pace on tyres that have got 14% life left? I have no idea, although I think we are going to box him this lap. What have we got left? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 5 laps. We should just be able to get to the end on these hypersofts. That should just about be doable, I think, for Lance Stroll. He's probably going to come out way down the order here as Gasly comes into the pits, and Mazepin. Actually, I don't think Gasly had pit yet. I think for some reason I thought Gasly had pit. And Vettel does cycle out in 8th place, which is where he started this race. Stroll is going to come out way down the order. Hopefully out of Raikkonen though. Raikkonen has had a very poor time here. I don't know what's happened to him. And Lance Stroll is still behind Mazepin. What is going on? Right, let's tell Vettel to push the fuel here. Somehow he's found his way up to 6th. I don't know when that happened. But here he is in 6th place. Bottas is going to pit, and that will cycle Vettel up to 5th if he can hold back Fernando Alonso. He's got much fresher tyres than everyone around him here, and quicker tyres. This could be a particularly interesting conclusion to this race. Sebastian Vettel is not outside of a shout of a podium here, I wouldn't say, as long as he could kind of get his foot down but also save the tyres. Charles Leclerc could very much win this race, actually, when you look at those timing screens. He's very close to the back of... Oh, well, I was going to say he's very close to the back of Daniel Ricciardo, but he's overtaken him. He's overtaken Daniel Ricciardo, and now he could set his sights on Sebastian Vettel with fresher and quicker tyres, as we are coming under big pressure now from Valtteri Bottas, who is on the softest compound, and somehow Valtteri Bottas might just about turn this race around here as Vettel goes around the outside of Sainz and can now set his sights on Daniel Ricciardo, whose tyres are severely wearing out. I think we're in with a shot of a podium here. I think as Giovinazzi, I think that is, retires. No safety car at this late stage. I don't know what the situation with Giovinazzi is, whether he's just had a mechanical failure. I would assume so. As we come round here, you can see we have fresher tyres than everyone around us except for Bottas, who goes through on Sainz. Bottas is closing in on us now. And look at Ricciardo's tyres. Look at them. We're gonna tell him to push. I totally forgot that we're on the final lap here and we have all of this spare fuel weighing us down. Can we catch up to Daniel Ricciardo as Bottas goes round us to take 4th place? This is going to be close to the line. Verstappen, I think, is going to win the race. He does. Leclerc 2nd, Ricciardo 3rd, Bottas 4th, and 5th place in the end for Sebastian Vettel. That is a good result. I will take that. Lance Stroll, is he going to get anything here? 17th in the end. Couldn't even get past Mazepin. A thoroughly disappointing race for Lance Stroll in the end. But I'm very pleased, actually, with Sebastian Vettel. That was a good result for us, I think, with the up difficulty. And like I said last race, I think last race, the two main factors that gave us that win were qualifying and the rain. I think if we hadn't perfected the strategy with the rain, and I mean the safety car, I think the safety car actually hindered us, but we had the track position with the tyres. So yeah, I think in the last race, if we hadn't had the rain and the pole position in qualifying, we wouldn't have done nearly as well. And I think here that just shows that we, this is a bit more realistic. This is what I think we need to be at with this save. But yeah, 5th place. Let's have a look here. Max Verstappen takes home the 25 points in the Red Bull. Was it ever in doubt, really? Charles Leclerc 2nd, a very strong result in the Ferrari. And Daniel Ricciardo putting in a very good shift in that McLaren to get a podium in his 3rd race. I don't think he's had a podium in this save yet. Don't quote me on it. I haven't watched the episodes back. Valtteri Bottas with an incredible recovery to come 4th. 5th place for Vettel. Very pleased with that. I think the strategy worked out pretty well, to be honest. I didn't know how it was going to go. There was a very mixed bag of strategies here. Sainz 6th, Norris 7th, Perez in 8th. Not the best result. I think at one stage I was looking at it thinking, are Red Bull going to get a double podium here? But I don't know. Tsunoda fell backwards, but again, kind of to be expected when he's in an AlphaTauri and, it's not the quickest car out there. Lewis Hamilton 10th in the end, so the strategy really didn't do him any favours. I think given how much Bottas threw himself up the order, I think if Hamilton had done the reverse strategy, maybe it would have worked out a bit better. Gasly 11th, Alonso and Ocon 12th and 14th. A bit disappointing. I think they qualified quite well, I think. Same with Latifi, but what can you really expect in a Williams? 15th and 16th for the Haas. Disappointing result for Lance Stroll in the end, up 3 places, but one of those was a retirement for Antonio Giovinazzi. And then Russell and Raikkonen behind. So let's see what that does to the championship. In the constructors, we still lead the championship, but Red Bull are closing in, only 12 points down now, and I reckon I would put money on that changing at the next race. Ferrari 3rd, McLaren 4th, Mercedes having an absolutely awful time this season, down in 5th place. Do not know what is going on with them, but yeah, behind McLaren and Ferrari, it's they're not having a fun season. It's like I think I said this in the first episode of the last episode. If you swapped Aston Martin and Mercedes, you've got a pretty accurate representation, I think, of real life at the moment. We are just overachieving, and Mercedes are thoroughly underachieving. And then Williams, Alfa Romeo, and Haas still yet to score, despite having a good opportunity, I would have said, in this race. I think Williams, especially with Latifi starting so high up, just outside the points as well in the end. So disappointing there. Let's have a look at the drivers. We have got Sebastian Vettel still leading the championship, but only 2 points now ahead of Max Verstappen. What a championship fight that would be. I do think he's going to struggle to hold on to that, but we will see what happens. We have still got a long way to go. 9 races. We're only a quarter of the way through this season. Daniel Ricciardo up to 3rd now in the McLaren. Very, very unrealistic. And then Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc having a very good season in the Ferrari, actually. Look at that. Very strong pairing. Lance Stroll ahead of both of the Mercedes. It's 7th and 8th. No idea what's going on with them, because it's you saw the teams in the first episode. Mercedes have got the best car. They've got the best drivers. I don't know what's going wrong with that team on this save. Pierre Gasly 9th, Alonso 10th, Norris struggling down in 11th. I think if you swapped the McLarens on here, that's pretty accurate. Sergio Perez struck down already by the curse of that second Red Bull seat in 12th place. He is not having a fun time at all. Yuki Tsunoda 13th, the last of the point scorers. So the only driver not in the bottom 3 teams to not score points actually at the moment is Esteban Ocon, struggling a little bit in that Alpine. But that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to record some more of these because I really need to get on with this save. I want to do more than 1 season this year, so I need to get on with it. And I want to overtake real life F1. I don't know how I've fallen behind real life F1. That is atrocious content production by me. But I'm going to go on with it. Next race is Monaco. So crucially, like, qualifying is crucial. And yeah, we're probably going to be starting not on pole if I simulate it again. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think to simulate qualifying. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know your feedback in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you think is going to win this championship. I think it's going to be Max Verstappen again. He won our 2021. I think he's going to do it again. Yeah, thank you for watching. I love you loads. I will see you guys in the next one.